Tune in to the MacMan Morning Show.
Hold up. Man, this is one of the hottest talk radio shows this side of the Mississippi. We're talking about the MacMan Morning Show, Mondays through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Man, get you some on WKRA 92.7 FM. Man, beat me there. Don't meet me there.
It's a MacMan Morning Show. It's a MacMan Morning Show. It's a MacMan Morning Show. It's a MacMan Morning Show.
Sitting at home when you're in your car.
It's a MacMan Morning Show.
No matter if you get far.
It's a MacMan Morning Show.
You better tune in quick or you might just miss.
It's a MacMan Morning Show.
The best show this side of the sea.
It's a MacMan Morning Show.
It's a MacMan Morning Show.
It's a MacMan Morning Show. It's a MacMan Morning Show. It's a MacMan Morning Show. It's a MacMan Morning Show. It's a MacMan Morning Show. It's a MacMan Morning Show. It's a MacMan Morning Show. It's a MacMan Morning Show. It's a MacMan Morning Show. It's a MacMan Morning Show. It's a MacMan Morning Show.
Sitting at home when you're in your car.
It's a MacMan Morning Show.
No matter if you get far.
It's a MacMan Morning Show.
You better tune in quick or you might just miss.
It's a MacMan Morning Show.
The best show this side of the sea.
It's a MacMan Morning Show. 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 It's a MacMan Morning Show.
And good morning to everyone, each and every one of you. We made it to Friday, folks. Can you believe that? We just started out. I thought it was feeling like we were in the middle of the week, like Wednesday or something, but we're here at Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God that we're alive and that we're well. I'd like to say good morning to each and every one of you. You're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial, and this is the MacMan Morning Show. I'm James Mack, your host. Also, we're expecting Brother Lee, our chief contributor, our senior contributor. He will be along shortly. As you know, Lee has to get himself situated, and we have a very special guest that has allowed herself to come into the lion's den of down here in the Delta. We like to say hello to Sherry Britton. She's here with us. We're going to hear a lot more from her. You need to hear, we've heard from policymakers, we've heard from various others, and people have had their opinions, but I wanted to hear from someone that lived there, that had a actual stake in what was what I would say being a resident there, making sure that they love their community and they're supportive of their community. But this thing that has happened has devastated them. And we're going to just talk about that. It's not going to be sad and dreary or anything like that. I got my coffee, didn't get a piece of chicken, but then I'm okay. We're all wonderful. I'd like to say good morning to each and every one of you on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. And I'd like to say good morning to all of our YouTube listeners. I'd like to and I'm really honored to have Dr. Nikita is here. Dr. Nikita Cloud, we'd like to say good morning to you, that you graced us with your presence today. Wonderful activist, a person that has fought for Thornton Township and Dalton. It's good. I must be in high cotton if if the doctor is here, we're just it's wonderful to have. We'd like to welcome all of you all that are first time listeners, and we're here each and every weekday morning live right here on YouTube and on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial, Change 92.7. You can listen anywhere and anytime. I'd like to say hello to all of our national audience. I'd like to say hello to everyone on the West Coast in California. We like to say hello. We have some new listeners and some new subscribers that came on. Especially when Trustee Belcher came on. A lot of people saw that we were fair and decisive. We weren't bashing anybody. Nobody was drug in the street. But you want to know things. You want to see what's going on. We get to all of that later. I'm going to say hello and good morning to each and every one of you. I'm going to do the forecast right quick, and then we're going to get on with our day and go on with our broadcast. We got some other things that we're going to discuss in just a little bit, but let's go to the forecast. Listen, we got one more day of near record heat. We've been in the 80s, and I don't know how most of the other country has been cooling off, but we're getting ready to get a cold front that's going to come in, and expect a few clouds. We might have some sprinkles at daybreak tomorrow or in the evening. It's going to be sunny, and the cooler weather is going to return for the rest of the weekend. And just keep in mind that this time of the year, we're in the 70s or in the lower 60s as far as the high is concerned. So enjoy this Indian summer while you can. And in Oxford, it is 56, 57 in Olive Branch and in South Haven, and it is 57 degrees at the world's greatest radio station, WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial, out of headquarters out of the great, wonderful community of Holly Springs, Marshall County, Mississippi. And we just like to say hello to all of you. We're listened to nationally. People pick up our signals and also on our YouTube channel. We just like to thank everybody because we're going to make sure that WKRA is on top of everything. And we just like to say good morning to all of you that are here. We're going to go to something else I wanted to do before I bring our guest. Our guest is so-called in our green room. So we're going to be talking to our guest in a little bit. I want to play something that I saw that concerned me. But before I do that, there's a story that I want to talk about the president, the vice president. All righty. And she's getting ready to go to Houston, Texas for a big rally there in Houston. Those of you that listen to us in Texas, I'd like to say good morning to our chief correspondent. I said what I said. We'd like to say good morning. Be glad when you get back here, so I won't have to be destroying everything that's here. We want to say good morning to all of you. There's going to be a rally I think they said they were trying to get it together for Friday or somewhat. Willie Nelson and Beyonce will be in attendance at this rally. Now, with all of the controversy and all of the things that are surrounding celebrities these days, you see a whole lot of them coming to the vice president's side by endorsing her, allowing her to use music. But this sister here, Beyonce, our sister here, that we all know. Let me see if I got, there it is. That we all familiar with. She just recently had a record-winning country album amidst the other controversies that are going on with the P. Diddy thing and so forth. Beyonce is a very, very popular and super popular entertainer. She travels all over the world. She does all kinds of benefits for her community. And I've always realized that no matter how successful you are, you're not going to satisfy people. There's never enough that you can do. If you had a position of some kind, people say, well, you work here and, you're head of this and you can give me a discount. And I know this is your store, especially in business. I have this problem. Well, I'm your cousin. Give me the cousin discount and all. Well, I got to discount you, but I got to charge everybody else. So my thing is, I salute this. We're at the nitty gritty of election season. We're at the fourth quarter, as they say, and we just got to kick this field goal. We're here. They're pulling out all of the stops, and I don't think there's anything wrong with allowing a celebrity to endorse a candidate for whatever the particular office. Good morning to our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful executive producer, Dr. J. Like to say good morning to all of you, to Miss Jennifer Roberts. We'd like to say good morning to all of you, to our moderators. I'm working on the situation. Dr. J is going to walk me through it. Alice and Penelope, we're going to get together and do what we do. But what about this celebrity? Do we think that celebrity counts? I want to know. I mean, somebody tell me if your favorite star, whoever it is that you holler and faint over and everything, whether it's I don't know who's popular now. They used to like Keith Sweat and all them other cats, and some Teddy Pendergrass for old school folks, and all. I mean, your favorite entertainer, somebody, the Isley Brothers, anybody that just sing what Jill Scott, anybody, and they say, well, hey, we believe that this is the person that should lead the country, and I'm asking you to vote for them. How do you feel about your entertainer being in politics? This is a big thing. And I mean, it's a big thing. There have been crowds that have been crowding them out. The fire marshals everywhere that the vice president has gone they have to close it down. They can't let any more people come into those arenas or anything. And something is going on. So what is your opinion? I just want to know, is there anybody? Yeah, I am. I like the blues and all those other things too. But I just want to know, I mean, because we're in a election, folks, that people are on the fence about, that they shouldn't be on the fence about. Shouldn't be on the fence about somebody coming and telling you that they can approach you and violate you, or we're going to destroy parts of women's health and take away the health insurance from the poor. Every time they try to strike at the poor, every time somebody try to strike at the vulnerable, every time, and there's something that I wanted to discuss also along with this. Every time they try to come up with these tricks of the trade and make up their plans like Project 2025, we got a problem, folks, that we need to get ourselves together. We have problems in our communities. We have problems in our metropolitan areas and municipalities everywhere, not just in Holly Springs or in Lexington, Mississippi, but in Dalton and South Holland and in Indianapolis, Indiana, and Dallas, Texas, or wherever the case. Or Texarkana. Wherever, Peoria, Illinois, there's things going on all around about us. We can't put our heads in the sand. And my thing is, we need to bring these things out. That's why I'm commending our guest that's coming on shortly with us after we after we come from break. We're going to have her to come on. I'm glad for people to step up to the plate and not putting your reputation or safety, because you're free to do anything that you want to and speak out, but to be in a situation and it has been hostile, and we call ourselves civilized people, but we will always have this thing in our minds and in our hearts that we should be against each other. That's just, to me, shouldn't happen. Listen, you're listening to the Magman Morning Show. This is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. I'm going to start early today with our commercials. I'm going to start a little bit early so I can have a little bit more time with our guests. You're listening to the Magman Morning Show on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial.
Baghdad is far from the Mississippi Delta, but I've lived in both. I'm Ty Pinkins, born and raised in the Delta. I served 21 years in the Army, including 3 combat tours. As a lawyer, I stood up for Mississippi families being wrongly evicted in the middle of winter and for workers who were cheated out of their pay by big businesses, and I won. Now I'm running to represent Mississippi in the U.S. Senate. As your senator, I will fight for better paying jobs, including increasing the minimum wage to $15 an hour, affordable health care, and equality education for our children. On November 5th, I'd be honored to have your vote because your voice matters. Paid for by Ty Pinkins for Congress. Baghdad is far from the Mississippi Delta, but I've lived in both. I'm Ty Pinkins.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
Members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch. Yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do. Okay, y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't ever even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. So you know how back in 08, when we all voted for Obama, we was all supposed to go back in 2010 and vote for the Congress. Cause they the ones make child support laws. They the ones choose if your kids at school get to eat steak or corn dogs. The State House make the court costs. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years, and we just let them sit. See, they don't wanna tell you this, they want you to focus on the president.
America, we are not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back.
I don't know about you, but I'm not going back. If you're not going back, vote Diane Black. Again, if you're not going back, vote Diane Black for U.S. Representative, 1st Congressional District of Mississippi.
November 5th, 2024. Vote Diane Black.
Paid for by friends of Diane Black.
Left, right, left, vote, left, right, left. Your mama, your daddy, they vote. Your sister, your brother, they vote. Your mama, your
your daddy, your sister, your brother, they need to get out and vote. Vote. Your mama, your daddy, they vote. They vote. Your sister, your brother, they vote. They vote. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, they need to get out and vote. Vote.
This is a call to all Americans. On November 5th, 2024, you have a chance to be heard. Make your voice known. Vote. It's your turn. Make sure to tune in this Friday to the MacMan Morning Show, where our special guest will be Sherry Hatcher Britton, a 20-year resident of Dalton, Illinois, as she gives her unique perspective on Dalton's present-day politics.
And we are back here at the MacMan Morning Show on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. And we like to welcome to the MacMan Morning Show Miss Sherry Hatchett Britton. Good morning to you. You're on, you see her. Now, usually we doing radio, we good. People wanted to see you. So don't think that we were hiding because we didn't shave or something like that. So forgive us. We'd like to welcome you to the MacMan Morning Show. We had a discussion with you briefly at the end of our show on the other day. And I just could not allow you to get away because of the wealth of information that you have as a resident, being a resident for over 20 years there in that area. And this is international news, but people want to know why she got cars and why people they don't trust her to buy penny candy and what she did to y'all. She herding y'all like cattle and got all kind of barriers up and putting y'all through metal detectors and all this stuff, disrespecting folks, all of these things that have been going on in the village of Dalton. Dalton is a residential, wonderful, beautiful community. At one time, I think at its peak that I remember was about 35,000. I think it's about like 22,000 people. Wonderful community, people that are proud to be where they are, professionals and so forth. We're going to get that part too, because we're going to allow Sherry to come in and talk about this. But before we get there, I wanted to ask you, and I'd like to welcome Brother Lee is here also with us. Y'all thought Brother Lee was in the bushes. We'd like to say hello to all of you all that are in our YouTube chat. And for those of you that are listening on our radio signal, we're asking that you do the replay, like and subscribe. Help us out to become better and better. It's not going to hurt you to like and subscribe. Question that I have for you, Miss Sherry. Say good morning, first of all, if you'd like to shout out to some of your wonderful people.
Good
All
morning.
right. Is there anybody you want to say? Is there anybody you'd like to?
Anybody that's in the chat. I saw Jennifer, I saw Dr. Nikita, I saw Judge Petty. I mean, everybody. Good morning to everyone.
She brought a judge with her. Lord help us all. And Dr. Nikita alone, we're in trouble. So Dr. Nikita gonna make sure that everything goes smooth. I like that, and she brought her posse with her. Dr. Nikita, good morning. It's wonderful. Question that I have. As a resident of Dalton, 8 years, Tiffany Henyard was a trustee. 8 years, this woman has been in you all's sight, and you know her. She has to be familiar. 8 years now. And even before that, opening up a copywritten restaurant. I wouldn't know. Why would you do that? I don't know. But I'm not going there. Right. All of this time, just say, for instance, since you've been in the village of Dalton, you knew of her and her political ways and the things that she was doing. Give us a introduction in how in the world did you get into Tiffany's world?
Okay. Well, Tiffany, I guess we got into each other's world when she ran and decided that she wanted to be an elected official in the town that I live in. It was in 2013 when I actually first knew of her because she was on the board. She was outspoken, and we couldn't say, or I couldn't say, that she didn't want what was best for the community. Her communication was a little different, but when I first met her in 2013, I did not think that we would be here.
The South Suburbs was famous, I would say, your neighboring city of Markham. I've been to the Markham skate ring of many days, and back in the day, I wouldn't get on those skates right now. I think I'd do something to hurt myself. But we used to come to Markham, and I knew in Dalton there were doctors and entertainers and politicians, people of all walks, business owners. It was a real, I would say, middle class Black community. What I would remember of it. Now I'm from Roseland, and so I know about the South Suburbs, Harvey, and all those other. But when you come to Dalton, when it came to Dalton, South Holland, Homewood, Flossmoor, places like that, these were people that were saying, hey, we're trying to make our mark here. This is where my family's homestead is, the beautiful houses and all these things. Out of all that time that y'all knew Tiffany and what she was doing, how in the world did she get to this point? And I won't play devil's advocate, but y'all let her get this far.
Well,
residents.
The thing of it is you don't know a person's agenda until you know their agenda. I mean, I think a lot of residents and even our board of trustees, along with the clerk, we all get blamed for her agenda. She came in with her own thoughts. She ran on transparency and other things that the community wanted and needed. But when she got in office, she decided to do what she wanted to do. And she's an adult. She doesn't, I guess she doesn't feel like she has to follow the law. She doesn't feel like she has to follow ordinances. And that's very sad. I mean, what can we do? I mean, we're not law. We're not the law. We're not law enforcement. We can't make her do anything. We can only try to get her to do what's right. I mean, we recalled her. She is a recalled mayor. No matter what, a technicality got her off, kept her in the seat. When we realized that she was not going to do the right thing, we did what we could do to try and rein her back in at first. And then we decided that she needed to, go. Unfortunately, I mean, if you've watched her over the last months and more recently, a couple of days ago, where she had this whole rant.
You're okay. I mean, 1 second, Sherry. Could you adjust something? Something is. I think it's your broadband. If it's something. Wait, I just wanted to. We'll take a little break as you look at this. We're just going to take a short break. But I wanted to acknowledge. Just stand right there and see if you can adjust some things because you were coming in like you were underwater. Let me say hello to Valerie Stubbs. Miss Stubbs, wow, I'm getting ready to see, you came on here with all of your folks, Miss Sherry. You got the judge, you got the doctor, you got Valerie Stubbs. Now, y'all, they play with Valerie. And Miss Valerie, you told them, y'all stay away from my property because I got some. I was one of y'all that I was on the other side of the cell, meaning that she was doing what she do. Miss Valerie, I got if you don't mind, Miss Sherry, you don't mind. I wanted, if you could, Miss Valerie, hit that link that I put in the chat. and we'll put you on the side. Brother Lee is here also. I'm going to go early on a lot of things. We got a hot show today. This chat is just lit. Miss Stubbs, come on in. I'm going to do just a quick little something to get y'all situated. I'm bringing our senior contributor, Brother Lee. You're listening, and the Lansing Journal. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I am a subscriber to their page, their wonderful journalism. Lansing is a beautiful, beautiful community, also a part of the South Suburbs. And I want to welcome our journalistic brothers and sisters in the state of Illinois, particularly the Lansing Journal, for their accuracy and bringing wonderful, 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 wonderful content to YouTube. And I hope that we can partner in some kind of way. I'd be glad. They have wonderful content. And I just wanted to acknowledge the Lansing Journal. You're listening to the Magman Morning Show on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. We're going to take small breaks, break everything down. We'll be right back in just a little bit. You'll like what you have to hear.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting your funny on with Magman Morning Show very own Mr. Lee.
When I was a kid, Mama looked at you before you got in the stove. Said, "Look, I don't want no." You don't put your hands on. You don't ask for shit. We ain't eating. We wait till we get home. But kids now, it's like, look, you know what you do in school, you know? He got a note saying that he's allergic to peanut butter. He's allergic to jelly. He's allergic to bread. He got gluten free. He gave me this. He gave me that. And then he got a note saying he got DDT, ADT, or Rivian, or whatever. He can just stand on tables. He can do whatever he's going to do. What kind of is that?
And we're back on the Magman Morning Show. This is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. I am James Mack. I am your host. I have Brother Lee is here, our chief contributor. He's here with me also. And our wonderful special guest, Miss Sherry Britton from the village of Dalton. And I'd like to welcome each and every one of you that are listening to us on WKRA. Also, we're thanking everybody that's inside the chat that's listening to us as we stream live each and every day at weekday, that is, at 9 o'clock. That's Chicago time, Central Time, and East Coast, 10 a.m. We'd like to welcome, once again, I'd like to welcome the Lansing Journal. I'd like to welcome Judge Petty is here, so all order is going to be done. Dr. Nikita's here, and Valerie Stubbs is here, so y'all know she ain't playing when she brought her crew with her. You brought all these folks with you. I don't know, make me nervous now, but I'm just kidding.
Don't be nervous.
We have Sherry, and Sherry's here with us. Okay, and Brother Lee, you're here with us too. I want to ask you something, and I'm going to lead into this. People wanted to know, and the reason that I asked the questions that I did was not a lot of times and I got to give exception to the Lansing Journal, that there not a lot, you get a lot of sound bites from Dalton when the fight breaks out or somebody's arguing or they didn't let you in or she's disrespectful to people and things like that. They don't get a chance to hear from you unless they go to other mediums. And I'm glad that you're here. I want to know, in particular, there was a night that they had barricades up. I never seen this in a village or a town or even a city council meeting. I come from Chicago, and I knew the night that Harold Washington, after they had the funeral, they had the meeting down there. You had to let the public in. It was so many people, Open Meetings Act or nothing. It was a mob down there. I know she causes a lot of trouble, but how did you all feel when you had to, in your own village hall, you pay your bills, this is where you pay, your taxes, and these people supposed to work for you, that they treated y'all like y'all was cattle or something, going through the cattle thing, Well,
I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. The fact that that is her way of controlling who gets in those meetings. She doesn't want to hear from people. So if she can get it down to maybe having 40 people at Village Hall during the meetings, that's what she's going to try to do. It's disgusting. I mean, the fact that the AG's office has not really helped us. I mean, yeah, recently they gave a binding decision in regards to the meeting so we could have them in a bigger space, but it was the barricades and all of that is just a means to control the narrative. That's why she doesn't want to have meetings anywhere else. That's why she canceled 25 meetings. I mean, 25 meetings. How do you do that? And I mean, the business just doesn't get taken care of. So when she goes to court and then she tries to say, oh, I want them at this place or at that place, that's just crazy. She just is looking for a way to control the narrative. And that's just not going to happen anymore. We need to move forward and take care of business. And she just doesn't want to do that. She wants to have parties and meltdowns and, you know, just all the crazy psychotic stuff that she does.
Now I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm not. And once again, I ain't playing devil advocate on any. I don't have a horse or nothing in the game. My thing is now, and Miss Stubbs, I know that you're listening to me. I'm going to get to your question about what you said too. Somebody knew that this woman was crazy. I mean, something was happening with her as far as her decision making. Listen, this woman had these Section 8 houses, and she got a benefit from the township or from Dolton. Somebody on that board knew that that money had went out. You're almost, as a resident, I'm asking you, and it's horrified me. I'm thinking that y'all $5 million in the hole. It comes to me that you all are almost $10 million as a village in the hole. Miss Stubbs, if you can help us out, how in the world did anybody let that kind of money, looking as a resident, how could somebody allow that kind of money to go out and nobody said anything? Did anybody get an agenda, a copy of the budget? Did anybody, any of the activists and the people that are speaking up and that are stepping up now, did anybody see this coming? That's a lot of money for a village that only has $22 million or $24 million a year coming in. Can you help me out a little bit?
So yeah, actually, people have been saying something. If you go back and you look at all the board meetings, Trustee Belcher, Trustee House, they've been saying it. I mean, they let people know that she had the checks sitting in somebody's drawer, $6 million worth of checks sitting in people's drawers and just saying, well, the board didn't pay you, but she was not telling the truth. So, I know a lot of people are just figuring out what's going on maybe within the last 6 to 8 months, but we have been saying it. We have been screaming. We have been doing everything that we can do. And the board members have been saying, where's the money? What are you doing? They've done that. I mean, it's the powers that be. I mean, they say investigations take a long time or whatever, but again, law enforcement is going to have to make her do what she needs to do. We can do whatever we can say whatever we want to say. She'll get up and say, call my phone if you want this. We don't have a budget.
Yes,
presented a budget. I mean, it's just simple. If you say, hey, Sherry, get in the kitchen and make me some macaroni and cheese, and I say, well, I'm not doing it. I mean, unless you grab me physically and make me do it, there's nothing we can do other than make the public and make the powers that be aware of what is going on. And like I say, I heard you say that you don't have a dog in this fight, but you do. And the reason you do is because, and I say this all the time, this can happen to anyone. It's happening to us in Dalton. We're a small town, a small community of 21,000 people. It's happening to us in real time. We are screaming at the top of our lungs, and nobody is doing anything within the state of Illinois. The only thing they're doing is saying investigations take time. So it's not, I mean, the board of trustees and the residents, we have to follow the letter of the law, because at one point, not so much now, she had the police officers in Dalton on her team to help her strong arm us and, do whatever we need to do. but actually it could happen to anyone. So I think everybody should take a page out of what we're doing in Dalton. Myself, Valerie Stubbs, the board of trustees, Dan Lee, Thelma Price, Mary Yvonne.
Right.
We've got the help of Dr. Nikita. You know, it's a lot, but we are pushing, and the biggest thing also is a lot of people think that we're not doing certain things, and we are, and we have.
Yes.
It's just the fact that the state's attorneys, and I don't know if they're
Yes.
doing anything. People claim to be doing things behind the scene, but after her meltdown, what was that, Tuesday on social
Yes.
media?
Yes,
You know,
I saw that.
it's alarming. It's very alarming.
Wow.
But we're not
I
gonna
wanted
stop.
to, yeah, I wanted to say also, and I'm glad, as you see, I wanted to make sure that that was answered. And Dr. Nikita, you know you're going to have to come on the McMahon Morning Show, so prepare yourself to come. But she said something that was really that I really wanted to look at. It says that, and she makes this comment, and she says that Tiffany has refused to turn over financials for years, of course, and she's even blocked the trustees from viewing the system or looking at the system that will tell you what's spent. Before I get to that part, I wanted to let people know I've seen you on another platform, and this is where I really got a chance to really become one of your fans. And the way that you handled everything on another person's platform, I don't have their permission to mention their name. And you, not only were you or are you a resident of this great village, but you also worked in some capacities in municipalities. Now, if you can talk about it, that's fine. Or you can say, well, you know, I can't say anything about it. But your experience as a employee of the village of Dalton, let me hear about what you have to say. You're an employee. You're not one of the policymakers, but what was it like just working under them conditions?
Okay, so I didn't work under those conditions. I worked in the fire department. I never worked under Tiffany's administration, so it was
Okay.
different. It was different. I didn't have a bad experience working in the fire department. The guys there were great. You know, it's a separate entity, but you know, it's within the village, but it was a separate entity. So my work
Right.
experience in the fire department was great. So I didn't have those issues. I feel bad for those guys now because of, you know, even though their contract is settled because of the great four trustees, you know, the trustees minus Stan Brown and Andrew Holmes. I mean, I think Stan did sign for them to have their contract or, you know, get it that all settled. But again, it was just heartbreaking to see them go through that, and they put their lives on the line to take care
Yeah,
of the village of Dalton.
they do.
But
They do.
my experience was great because Dalton Fire Department is great.
That's right. I'm a fireman, and shout out to my brothers and sisters in first responding and on the Dalton Fire Department. Thank you to the wonderful negotiators that sat at the table with Trustee Belcher, who is the chairperson of the Fire and Police Committee, to get them their just due. A lot of people don't know that the fire department is very important. I dare you make a phone call and they don't come, and let's see what will happen. Always support our first responders. Speaking of first responders, I wanted to ask this. This contract with the police, and maybe Dr. Nikita can help you out on this too, and you being an administrator inside of Dalton, there are a lot of things that are going on or that has gone on that people all of a sudden have come up with. You find out that Stan Brown now wants to. At that time, I saw at the meeting that he was at the Park District, that he was seemed to be coming to the other side to bring things forward on the side of Jason and the rest of those trustees, Miss Belcher, Miss Norwood, and Miss Brown, to put the restrictions on the accounts and things like that, to do some fiscal things immediately that they've gone through. Now she's gone through some personal things, this eviction. Now I saw pictures, and I hope Dr. Nikita, somebody could help us. You got your squad here that could help me out. Why I saw moving trucks. Somebody showed a picture of moving trucks that she seemed to move away from that house that she's being evicted from, and that it is empty. You were in court yesterday, and I wanted to get a report from you. Can you give us an update on the court situation? But first of all, tell us, is this true or not that she lives in that residence, or do she lives at is there any knowledge of where she lives? Do she live in Dalton?
I believe she doesn't live in Dalton. She has been out of that house for a while. Now, I don't know the arrangements or the financials of how she, what's going on as far as what she owes, other than what the landlord is reporting, because she's now, speaking with the media. But I want to say early summer, spring, she was out of that house, because we knew the day that she left. So she hasn't been there. I don't believe she lives in Dalton. I believe she uses an address in Dalton, but I don't think she lives here for sure. Now, I was not at court for her eviction. I went to support the Roberts, Jennifer and Paul Roberts, and Trustee Carmen Carlisle. That's why I was at the courthouse.
Wonderful people. Mm-hmm. How is that situation? We're gonna take a quick break, and I want some more time with you. That's why I'm gonna go a little bit earlier. We're gonna talk about what happened in court, what you saw. You said nothing too much, but you're nothing too much. Everybody is on this story, and I'm just glad, and I'm just celebrating the fact that we can bring on actual people. We don't have to go through gossip. We don't have to go through this and that and the other. Bring it to the table. Let's see what's happening. My guest today is Sherry Britton. She is a 20-year plus resident of the village of Dalton, former employee of the village, also a wonderful community activist. She's activist with so many in her community, a leading voice, as you see in the chat, those of you that are looking on YouTube. And if you're listening to WKRA, get the replay. You're going to really want it. We're going to take a break right quick, and this will be our final break. And then we're going to come back with the rest of our program with our wonderful guest. Sherry's going to stick around, and we might get a couple of more. I got Brother Lee got a couple of questions too. We'll be right back after these announcements.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios.
Left, right, left, vote. Left, right, left, vote. Left, right, left, vote. Your mama, your daddy, they vote. They vote. Your sister, your brother, they vote. They vote. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, they need to get out and vote. Vote. Your mama, your daddy, they vote. They vote. Your sister, your brother, they vote. They vote. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, they need to get out and vote. Vote.
This is a call to all Americans. On November 5th, 2024, you have a chance to be heard. Make your voice known. Vote. It's your turn.
Including increasing the minimum wage to $15 an hour, affordable health care, and equality education for our children. On November 5th, I'd be honored to have your vote, because your voice matters. Paid for by Ty Pinkins for Congress. Baghdad is far from the Mississippi Delta, but I've lived in both. I'm Ty Pinkins, born and raised in the Delta. I served 21 years in the Army, including 3 combat tours. As a lawyer, I stood up for Mississippi families being wrongly evicted in the middle of winter, and for workers who were cheated out of their pay by big businesses, and I won. Now I'm running to represent Mississippi in the U.S. Senate. As your senator, I will fight for better paying jobs, including increasing the minimum wage to $15 an hour, affordable health care, and equality education for our children. On November 5th, I'd be honored to have your vote, because your voice matters. Paid for by Ty Pinkins for Congress.
America, we are not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back.
I don't know about you, but I'm not going back. If you're not going back, vote Diane Black. Again, if you're not going back, vote Diane Black for U.S. Representative, 1st Congressional District of Mississippi.
November 5th, 2024. Vote Diane Black.
Paid for by friends of Diane Black.
And we're back on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the MacMan Morning Show. I'm James Mack, your host. Also, we have Brother Lee, our senior contributor that has been in the house. We have our wonderful guest, Sherry Hatchett Britton. I'm going to ask her about this Hatchett part in a little bit. She's going to have to tell me. I know this is a real famous name. I'm going to tell y'all about it in a minute. She's a Dalton resident, over 20 years of experience of being there, being a resident, even being an employee of the village at one time. Great community activist. We welcome her here. She's been real patient. Y'all listen to see now here in the South, we like blues and things like that. So Red's Blues Lounge, when you come this way, we got relatives from Mississippi. Everybody got a cousin or somebody here. Just come on down here. And if you hit Clarksdale, Mississippi, you can't miss Red's Blues Lounge. And you know, the funny thing about it, the church is right across the street. So, you know, y'all put that together. I ain't going to joke about the church right now. But we're grateful to Diane Black, who is running for Congresswoman. First will be the very first Black or woman, period, to run for Congress here in the state of Mississippi. You think you got it hard in Dalton? Lord have mercy. There are municipalities and places that need help. And we need to not only put the vice president in the presidential seat, she's going to need people in Congress like Ty Pickett and like Diane Black. We'd like to thank them for allowing us to be their partners in media to spread the word about what's going on. Please vote, folks. You got a couple of days left to do your absentee voting. Please, it is being, a lot of people are voting. I don't have the numbers, but on Monday, I'll have those numbers of those exit numbers for absentee voting and for early voting within the region. We're going to have that. I'd like to say good morning to each and every one of you. We have, boy, I tell you, this is a great show. And our guest here is Sherry Britton. She's here along with her crew. She brought her whole crew. I mean, the whole Dalton support system is here. And let me talk a little bit before I bring Brother Lee to us and everything. It's a funny thing. Were you there when Trustee Belcher told the mayor that we don't trust you to buy penny candy. And that's our biggest cut that everybody likes that. Were you there that night, Sherry, that it happened? I just had to ask that.
I don't know if I was there. If I wasn't, I was definitely watching. Trustee Belcher is the real deal. I mean, I really, really
Yeah.
appreciate everything that she does. You know, I like her as a person, you know, and it just helps that, you know, she's a person that, you know, and everybody in this that is with us in here. I mean, it's not like we would go out and have a cocktail. I would go out and have a cocktail with Trustee Belcher. I love her.
You would. She says she like that Cooper's Hawk place that everybody's talking about, that the mayor. Well, now I ain't got that kind of money that the mayor got to go to. I don't know what her bill was. I ain't stingy or nothing, but I might have to save up a few twos and fews to go. But they say it's really nice, that Cooper Hawk place that y'all got there. See, you know, I'm from the area, but a lot has changed. I'll be like a tourist again. It's just I miss the food. I miss Chicago's food, Jesus. I ain't gonna mention none of y'all restaurants because y'all didn't give me no advertising money. But then y'all know who I'm talking about when I dream at night about Guy Rose and things like that. Let me stop all of that. That's a Chicago thing. Listen, Brother Lee is here. Our chief contributor is here. Brother Lee, I got Miss Sherry's here, and I'd like for you, if you got any questions or comment at this time, we're going to continue to go forward, but maybe you have something you like to ask our wonderful guests.
Well, I like to say great day. The reason why I don't say good, and I say welcome to all the people on the chat and the panelists. And I like to say I don't say good morning anymore because I was doing some research on that, and I found out that the reason why we say good morning is because back in slavery, when we was held captive, uh, the slave owners would unalive us, and he would say, "Have a good morning." So think about that when you say good morning. You could say great day, but I'm gonna get back to what I was saying. I'm not gonna take too much of your time. I would like to say, I got a couple of questions. One of the questions is, do you have anyone on the board of trustees that has support for the mayor
Right now,
right at this minute?
Trustee Andrew Holmes supports the mayor, and so does Dan Brown sometimes. You know, it just depends on what's going on. He rides the fence, but her 100% supporter is Andrew Holmes. Yes.
And the next question is, does all the trustees live in Dalton, Illinois?
Yes. There is some question about Andrew Holmes, whether he lives here or not, but the other residents do live in Dalton. I mean, the other board of trustees and the clerk, they all live in Dalton.
Okay,
Yes.
next question is, did you have a deficit before the mayor became mayor?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. And last
We did have a
question.
water bill that was kind of outstanding, but it was worked out. We made a deal with the city of Chicago to get that taken care of. But just a regular deficit, no.
And you were saying earlier about the mayor was withholding the amount of people that could come into the meetings,
Yes.
and the numbers were down. So you're saying if you had more people, you would have more the people that she's letting in only supports her, or does it, or is it just that you want to have more people there, as many as you possibly can?
Well, it's our right. It's not that, you know, she's not supposed to close up the building. There's supposed to be enough room for anyone in the village of Dalton that wants to come to those meetings to be able to come to the meetings. She should have an overflow. It's not handicap accessible. There's a lot of things that are going on that could be changed for those meetings, but she definitely should not be closing it off or only allowing 40 to 42 people, I guess that's what it is, into that building. And no, it's not just her supporters. I mean, she tried that, but people would start lining up to get into the meetings at 5:00. And the meeting doesn't start. It's supposed to start at 6:30, but with her, it's usually 20 to 30, 40 minutes late. But so that means you People get off work, they come and they stand in a long line, including seniors. I've seen people on walkers standing in line at 5 o'clock to try to get in a meeting at 6:30. I mean, they tried to lock me out. I was like number 43. And I was like, let me in the building. You know, I got in the building. I'll just say that. But a lot of people don't. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No. I have no further questions. I didn't want to take up too much of your time. I just wanted to ask you a few things, and I appreciate you coming on.
No
Thank you.
problem. Anything. I'll answer anything. We're transparent
Well,
here.
well, now wait a minute. Hold it. See, you know Lee, brother Lee. They always say, brother Lee, I give you a hand. Now he treated you well. They thought that brother Lee put Miss Belcher. We put her in the lion's den with him and everything. But being a chief contributor, he did real good. Look at y'all. Y'all acting right over here. Y'all, but see, he know you got Dr. Nikita and Miss Valerie and the Lansing Journal and all them folks, and you know, you brought your squad. Listen,
I'm
there
good.
is,
I'm good.
yeah, I know you are. Look at you, both. I like that in you.
And I mean, he
Okay,
asked
see,
legitimate questions. I mean, he asked legitimate questions, and Trustee Belcher answered them correctly. I don't think he put her in the lion's den. We have questions. People have questions because
that's right.
everybody is wondering, how did we get here? This is crazy. I get it.
And it's remarkable. It's just really remarkable. We got a little more time to go, but I wanted to say to Miss Lisa J. That's Yellow Pain. We're going to play a little bit of it a little bit later for you, just for you. If you like and subscribe, we got you covered. And Yellow Pain was a guest on our show. Wonderful young man that reaches out to voters of his genre. They say that's Generation Z. I'm an X or something. I don't know. I'm just here. But they say that, and he's done wonderful outreach work. We will share that again. Hit like and subscribe. That's true. Now, I wanted to say, now I'm not going to put you in the lion's den, but I wanted to just say this. Sherry, what do you tell your fellow residents, the people that you go to the store with, the people that you go to church with, you go to your functions, so forth and so on, that you live and operate and go to your kids' schools and activities and just want to live a good life with all of this turmoil that's going on? What do you say? What do we need to do to bring harmony back as residents? I want to say, as you as a resident and your fellow residents, what is it that you all got to do to bring that harmony back?
Well, what we have to do is we have to stay focused. We have to stay focused on what's going on. We have to get involved in all of our local politics. We do have a forum for residents. It's the second Saturday of every month in Dalton at our park district. It's called Tea with the Trustees, where residents can go and they can feel safe to ask questions and to know what's going on. We got to be involved. We got to get out and vote in February because, we don't know how long it's going to take the powers that be to do anything as far as putting a leash on her with all this craziness. I also feel like we really have to stay focused. I mean, this has become a media frenzy. It's a lot, and we have to really take everything that we hear with a grain of salt. If it doesn't make sense, do your research. We can't assume that nothing is being done. The powers that be, in my opinion, they're moving a little too slow. I mean, I don't know if they're waiting for someone to get hurt. I sometimes wonder if we're a social experiment to see just how bad things need to get before somebody steps in to do something. We're not, and the misconception that we are just this poor town with no people.
No, y'all not.
And all
Y'all
that.
not poor. Y'all ain't poor. Y'all ain't poor now.
Well, but we get a bad rap. So I just want people to stay focused, get involved if you're not involved. We need to make history now. in a couple weeks with the vice president to become the president, but we also need to make history in Dalton to stand up for ourselves and make sure that we take care of this, because, you know, people say it's not personal, but it is personal. When somebody makes it their business to not work with the community at all, let's just say we don't like what you're doing, but she's saying, I don't care, I'm going to do it my way or the highway, period.
Wow.
And it just doesn't work that way. She's got too, she feels like she has too much power, and we need to take care of that.
Well, we will. You're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial, and we're streaming live on YouTube. My wonderful guest, who has been really wonderful. I hope we treated her nice and everything. We have Sherry Britton that's here with us. Listen, I'm going to take just a slider of an ID break, and this is for Ms. Lisa J. She wanted to hear this, and we're going to come back, and with our wrap up the rest of the show, I got one other pertinent question that somebody sent me a message for you, Miss Sherry. They wanted to ask this question. They didn't come in the chat. Those are the Bushes people, the people that are in the bushes. We'll be back to answer the Bushes question right after this brief ID.
Tune in to the MacMan Morning Show. Hold up. Man, this is one of the hottest talk radio shows this side of the Mississippi. We're talking about the MacMan Morning Show. Mondays through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Man, get you some on WKRA 92.7 FM. Man, beat me there. Don't meet me there.
First thing first, you know, back in middle school when they taught us it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor or the governor and the president. Now none of them 3 people make no laws. They just be checking them. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch. Yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do. Okay, y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't ever even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. So you know how back in 08, when we all voted for Obama, we was all supposed to go back in 2010 and vote for the Congress. Cause they the ones make child support laws. They the ones choose if your kids at school get to eat steak or corn dogs. The State House make the court costs. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years, and we just let them sit. See, they don't wanna tell you this, they want you to focus on the president.
We'd like to thank Brother Yellow Pain. That young man has a message for the ages, and we're really grateful that we had partnered with him. He came here. We're trying to get him again before the election is over. That was for Miss Lisa J. She said that she subscribed. We know that you have. All of you that are here, we'd like to thank all of our chat members. We'd like to thank all 100 plus of you. You can like and subscribe. I guarantee you the best 80 minutes of your morning is with the MacMan Morning Show. We're here every weekday morning from 9 a.m. Central, and that's 10 o'clock Eastern, right here on YouTube and on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. I have a question for our guest who's here. Miss Sherry Britton is here, and she's been patient. Sherry Hatchett Britton. Let me talk about this. You know Richard Hatchett. Everybody mess with you, say you Richard Hatchett's grandbaby or something like that, or you know.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that, but I was told that no, I am not related to him.
That's the first black mayor of Gary. You got some spunk in you, which leads me to this question. I don't know if you're going to answer it or not, but I'm going to throw it out here. This is the MacMan Curve. Have you ever been, will you think about ever running for position in your community?
No, I'm not.
Why? Why not? Why not?
Because personally, it's just something I don't want to do. I mean, I like helping out, and I feel personally for me, and this is just for Sherry, that I can do more by not being an elected official. I do get people that ask me about it, but right now, and you know, for the near future, a long,
Who
long, long
knows?
way away. I just don't. It's just not what I want to do. Sometimes
All right.
people might feel like I should do it, or
Mhm.
make me, or they want to make me do it, but I'm not. I don't. I
I
just
don't
don't
know.
want to
See,
do
that was too much hesitation for me to not even think about that. So that means that I don't know y'all, but if the right situation comes about and it's the right situation, you'll do it. Okay. But I know that would you work also? I'd like to ask this question: would you work with the new administration? And the reason that I said that, most of the listeners already know that we have endorsed this part of Clean House 2025 that
it.
has come and been in the lion's den. We support the reelection of Kiana Belcher for trustee of the village of Dolton. Her wonderful, wonderful experience that she has, so numerous that we're going to name it. And I can't wait for election season to happen in the municipalities come 2025. That's the reason that I wanted to say to you that. I'm reaching out to all, and maybe you can say something, and I'm going to tell our audience why I'm picking with you, like I'm picking with you. We need to have eyes and ears as a production and as a show. My objective is, as a journalist, first is to get both sides. You can't
Mhm.
just go and scoop one side and then you go to the other. The scales are not balanced. I asked Miss Sherry if she would be a guest commentator on our election coverage coming up on November the 5th. WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial and the Magman Morning Show will have election coverage starting at around 4:30 in the afternoon on election day, getting election returns. I want to know what's going on in Illinois, how things are going, and also as we lead into 2025, she will be our special correspondent from Dalton. We want to see what's going on. I've been invited. I don't know if y'all make it well enough. I'll come if y'all want me to come. That's my home. If y'all invite me, so I want to first of all see if you're going to accept that what I put out there. Now y'all all hear her. She's here. You'll be our special correspondent for election coverage in your region. How about that?
Sure.
Oh,
We.
you supposed to smile because you got a promotion on the television and the radio. Go ahead and smile for the people. There you go. Thank you. All
Sure,
right.
sure.
Thank you.
Anything for you.
And we salute your wonderful husband, who we must say, see, y'all think I was going to forget. I'm going to never forget the man in the house. He let you do things and stuff like that. We praying for you, bro. We know that we know that it could be difficult for you, but we know that you have a wonderful spouse, someone that's a wonderful mother, a wonderful community activist. And you don't have to be an activist by jumping on somebody's table, hollering, or choking somebody out. But you can do some things like come on media and tell about your community, about where you live, and about what you do. And for you, Sherry, to come here as a resident of that great community and from that region of Cook County, I want to thank you because you didn't have to do it. I want to thank you because you had the courage, not knowing we could have been dragging you all through the alleys and everything. We dragged you through the alleys. And Brother Lee was real nice. I don't know what you did to Brother Lee to make him. No, I'm just kidding, Lee. I'm just kidding. But I just wanted to salute you and for what you are doing. Please tell Mr. Lee. Is that another Mr. Lee over there? That's the tall gentleman that
Mhm.
was going to go over the counter at Town Hall to get them folks and get Mr. Price and them that was over there, had no business over there in the first place. I be watching
Right.
all kinds of, and they say it's like soap opera, but it ain't no soap opera. It is people's real lives that are involved. And I like to say hey to Lady T Bug. She's one of the great, great, great commentators on YouTube and been following things. Dr. Nikita, I got to ask a question while I got your sidekick here, Sherry. Dr. Nikita, will you come on the MacMan Morning Show? I'll make the arrangements. Please let the people know. I don't want to put that question up. You didn't say yes yet. I want you to do it again. That's an old post right there. Y'all encourage her. I'm shouting out Dan Lee. That's Mr. Dan Lee. Now answer my question, Dr. Nikita. Thank you for telling me about Mr. Dan Lee. I want to know, are you going to come on the MacMan Morning Show? I treated Sherry nice and everything. She got a nice green room. Look at all the nice paintings and stuff behind her and all those other things we want to know. She ain't said nothing yet, y'all. Something wrong with her fingers. We're going to get it before we sign off. Brother Lee is here again. Brother Lee, is there any parting questions or anything that you would like to say to our wonderful guest who's been really wonderful to us?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank her for coming on. I didn't want to take up too much of the time. I didn't want to get into anything too deep because I know we wanted to hear something from her and hear how her feel about her situation and the views of the town and everything like that. And I didn't want to interrupt too much or give any deep type of thing going on. But I just wanted to say thank her for coming on. I want to thank you for coming on and I appreciate her what she does. And maybe we'll talk again later.
Absolutely.
All
Thank
right.
you for having me. Thank you for having
Yeah.
me. And ask the questions. I'll answer the questions. If I can, I'll answer. Nothing's too hard.
That's right.
This whole saga has been hard. So a few questions that are hard hitting that may be a little uncomfortable. That's okay. I'm good for that. I'm good with it.
Well, I look forward to the conversations.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Our guest has been Miss Sherry Hatchett Britton, very, very well loved and respected resident of the town of Dalton, not the town, the village, the great village. It's a village, y'all. It takes a village, not just to help the children, but it's shown up to take a village, a city, Mississippi, and everywhere else to come to the aid and rescue of our brothers and sisters in Thornton and in Dalton. Look, y'all think I wasn't going to do this, but let me find it right now. I'm working the controls by myself. And yep, you see that, don't you? Y'all see that right now. You see that, Sherry? Your partner says she covered on my show.
Yes.
Come on, my Dr. Nikita. There's a email address right there. Send me all of everything that I need. We're going to get you done and taken care of. And we're going to have her on. We want to thank the Lansing Journal, Miss Valerie Stubbs is so good. I mean, y'all don't know I got all of the stars, the celebrities of Dalton that's on here. Miss Stubbs. I want to get Mr. Lee too. And Mr. Lee and Mr. Lee to get on at the same time. We're going to do our very best to be in the Dalton business. We're going to be in the business of helping any municipality that needs to get the word out. We're not here to drag or to make anybody feel bad or anything like that. We just want to know what's going on in your community. And I want to thank you, Sherry, one more time for coming on the MacMan Morning Show. Get ready for your new duties. I want to hear what's going on and what's going to be happening up there in Cook County and in the southern part of Cook County, right there in Thornton Township, and especially how voting is going there. Lansing Journal, yeah, is he really good? He is really good. I want to get the Lansing Journal's editor on. We're going to work it out. Lansing Journal, you see my email address. Please send me any information that I need so we can get together. Once again, my wonderful guest has been. Wow, Sherry, you just lit up the whole chat and people were nice. Now we treated you nice, but we want to thank you for being here and thank you for taking and being a part of the MacMan Morning Show. I'll give you more instructions and fill you in on how we're going to do things. My very, 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 very special guest, Sherry Hatchet Britton of Dalton, Illinois. And I just want to thank her once again for being here. I hope you enjoyed the show. We love all of you. Sherry and Valerie Stubbs, you coming on too. You come on the McMahon Morning Show. I got to hear what you got to say and what's in that bag you got when they came up to your property and what you were going to do to them folks. But anyway, I love you all. For Mr. Lee, for I said what I said, come on back to work, please. We need you here. We miss you. And we're ready for Dr. J, our executive producer. For everybody that's here, I'm James Mack. And if you love somebody, I just say love somebody. Just love somebody. It'll come back to you. I'm the Mac Man, James Mack. And you have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back Monday at the same time, same place.
It's the McMahon Morning Show. 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 Sitting at home when you're in your car. It's the McMahon Morning Show. No matter if you get far. It's the McMahon Morning Show. You better